Expensive items that I actually think are worth the money. Starting off with what is the most expensive of the expensive but worth it is solid gold jewelry. Personally, I have owned my fair share of filled and plated jewelry. Pretty much all of it is tarnished. And you always have to end up rebuying it. For me, if I'm buying a nice piece of jewelry, it's probably gonna be something kind of sentimental, so I want it to last forever. An example is this ring. I bought it 5 years ago from a jeweler called Geisler Jewels. They're based in Australia. Solid gold hoops I've had for like 3 or 4 years. These two pieces for me are too sentimental to ever want to sell, but another consideration when it comes to your solid gold jewelry is it is something that will hold its value, so if you did want to resell it, you could. And you're gonna get a lot more money for it than your filled or plated stuff. Well, I think that this jacket looks absolutely ridiculous with this skirt. I did want to talk about a real leather jacket. I think they are so worth it. It is also something that I think will always have a place in your wardrobe. Do the silhouettes ebb and flow in popularity? Of course. But I still think a real leather jacket is worth it. And especially compared to the alternative, which is a plastic leather jacket, vegan leather. I have a fair share of thoughts on the whole vegan leather marketing tool, especially when you're to look at a vintage real leather jacket and a new plastic leather jacket. They're pretty comparable in price right now. So I feel like there are options out there. For me, the expensive but worth it list is always topped by a vintage item because you are already getting it at a reduced price. I love to use stuff like the Real Fashion File, eBay, whatever it may be. There's something fun about the search, and then also I feel like you do tend to get a fairly good deal. And for an item that isn't actually really worth the expensive price point, but I think gets a pass, is the, oh, I really did that item. And for me, this was like my first purchase that when I started to do well in my career, I was like, oh, I'm going to go get myself a nice bag. And I think that it is so rewarding to have something like that, that even if it is a little bit expensive and you've had a really big achievement, I think getting that item is worth it.